Hey, what's up, everybody? I don't know if you know this or if you heard, but Ed Too Tall Jones is going to be the announcer for the second round. This is his rookie card. Take a look at this guy right here. The legend, the myth, Ed Too Tall Jones. All right. This guy was 6'9" defensive end. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to take a look at the Cowboys roster as it is right now before the draft. This is serious. So we're going to take a look at where the roster was after the draft last year to where it's at right now with all the additions and subtractions that the Cowboys have made in free agency. So we'll take a look at what shape we're in as we head to the draft. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's take a look at the 2018 depth chart. All right, take a look at this. This is from last year, kind of after the draft. Just like this was just a very rough estimate of what the depth chart was going to look like after last year's draft. So if you look at it, you know, we were projecting Allen Hurns to be opposite Michael Gallup, you know, and that's kind of what they tried to do. You know, the whole committee thing didn't work out. Chaz Green was still on the team. Marcus Martin was still on the team. He had gotten hurt. Deontay Thompson was still here. Terrence Williams, he didn't even end up playing. That guy just stole some money from us. That was it. All right. And then Rod Smith and Bo Scarborough. A lot of people were real hyped up on this guy. Remember that? And he didn't even make the team. Lewis Neal, he was a defensive tackle / then we're going to try to make him a fullback. That experiment. And then Cole Beasley. Right. If you look at the defense, Marcus Lawrence, Coney Ealy, there was some excitement for him, including myself. Didn't end up making the team. Didn't do anything for us. Charles Tapper, a complete 4th round bust. Didn't do crap for us his whole career. And then Malik Collins, Brian Price was still in here. Jihad Ward and didn't end up making the team even. All right. Taco, Crawford, and Armstrong here. Jen Smith, and then this combination kind of changed around. Late ended up taking over Sean Lee's will position, and Jalen moved over there to the middle linebacker spot. Then you had Damian Wilson doing that strong side. All right, Chris Covington. Cornerbacks, pretty much the starters pretty much stayed the same. Marquez White, Duke Thomas, those guys they didn't even make the team. All right, so now let's take a look at how the roster is looking for 2019. All right, let's take a look at that. The 2019 depth chart. This is pre-draft. All right. For the most part, I think free agency is over. The Cowboys did actually open up some cap space with the Marcus Lawrence's deal. So right now, I think they're sitting around $18 or $19 million under the cap, which is pretty amazing considering. So there's always an opportunity that they might add another player or two possibly before the draft. But I mean, we're getting pretty close to it. We're 2 weeks away. All right. So let's go ahead and just look at what we have right now through free agency and with the draft 2 weeks away. Okay, so obviously we brought in Cooper. He's going to be your number one there. Noah Brown, they're continuing to develop him. They like him. They kept him around. Jason Witten comes back into the fold. He will be that tight end number one. All right, let's quit the nonsense about Jarwin and these other guys doing it. That's not gonna happen. All right, there will be some rotation. I'm sure these guys will get plays because they do want to develop them. I think the competition will be more these three guys. All right, Dalton Schultz, Gathers, this McElroy guy. They really like his size. They like his athleticism. All right, and if they bring in another one to the draft, it could be somebody that could challenge these guys right here. All right, so tight end is a possibility, but I think it's kind of low on the totem pole. But you never know. All right, Tyron Connor, Frederick looks like he's on the mend. He's coming back. Zach Martin. Lyle Collins is going to finish out his contract, all right? I don't think the Cowboys are bringing him back. We do have Fleming here on a 2-year deal, so that may let the Cowboys, chill on the draft allocations on the offensive line for at least another year. But, there will need to be some upgrades here coming up with Collins, and then at some point, Tyron Smith's heir to the throne, all right? Gallup, he's obviously going to be the other guy opposite Cooper. That's clinched. That's that. Hearns, he's making himself back into the fold. Cedric Wilson will be in that mix as well. And obviously you got Dak Prescott and 2 young quarterbacks here. I don't think they're going to carry 2 this year. I mean, 2 backups. It's probably going to be Dak and, last man standing with between Mike White and Cooper Rush, right? Ezekiel Elliott, Darius Jackson, and then that's it. All right, Rod Smith and the other guys that let him walk. So they are looking at running backs in this draft, and you could see why. Unless they add another person in free agency, this will be a need, and they will take a running back at some point in this draft. Fullback, Randall Cobb, Hearns, Austin, I think they're in the mix, and you also got Devin Smith that they added in free agency. Lance Lenore, he'll be in the mix, but time's running out for Lenore. It's kind of looking more like an Andy Jones project that didn't go anywhere. Could be the same fate for Lenore, okay, but we'll see. Defensively speaking, DeMarcus Lawrence, Malik Collins, Antoine Woods, Robert Quinn. That's pretty good up front, all right. And then you got a pretty good rotation with Armstrong, Brandon Gregory. Haven't been great here because we're, as of right now, he's not part of the team. He can't practice with the team. None of that. He's suspended indefinitely until there's some sort of alteration to the suspension. Okay, so they brought in Kerry Hyder. He gives you a position flex. Have him at defensive end, but it can also give you defensive tackle assistance there. All right. So behind Robert Quinn, it'll probably be Tyron Crawford. He can bring pressure. He can play the run good. Tucker Charlton, really, this is his year to really take that next step. If he doesn't take it in year 3, that project is over. All right, that's just what it is. Strong side linebacker. Okay, so we'll let Damien, we'll let him go. So Justin Marsh-Litter right now would be your strong side. So I think linebacker, that's why they're looking at a lot of linebackers. If you look at the list that I've been updating, that is, you're probably going to get a linebacker drafted out of this draft class. All right. Jen Smith, Van Der Esch, Joe Thomas still in the mix. Chris Covington, they'll try to move up the depth charts. Okay, and then your secondary, you're pretty good here. The depth is pretty good. They've added a lot of depth here at safety. But like I said, these are guys that can all be upgraded. Xavier Woods, I think they like out of all these. He's probably the one that they really like. These other guys are upgradable. Jeff Heath, George, these guys. I'm not penciling him in as a starter. We got to see it, if he can beat him, because we've had this type of situation before where they brought in a vet, safety, and the dude didn't even make the team. So we'll see. All right. And then of course you got your special teamers here. All right. So that's a look at the roster. Kind of gives you an idea of who is currently on the team and where they might, throw some draft capital. All right. So if it were me, I still want to get better here at defensive tackle. I don't think they're going to re-up Malik Collins. That's just my opinion. The injuries and that kind of thing. Chris Covington, he's on a short-term deal, so I wouldn't mind them throwing a defensive tackle pick there. Defensive end is also in the mix, and linebacker, obviously. Cornerback is going to be low-key because Anthony Brown and Byron Jones next season. What do they do with that? Cornerbacks franchise tag is a lot of money. I don't see the Cowboys, franchise tagging Byron Jones. I just don't. That's just my opinion. That's a lot of money for one player at cornerback, and you got somebody here that's very capable in Jordan Lewis. All right, so they're looking at a lot of rangy cornerbacks. Chris Richard is visiting with a lot, personally working them out. So do not be surprised if cornerback is taken. Running back is the other one here that I think really sticks out. All right, they are looking at a lot of running backs. I would hope that they take it in the mid round, 4th round or somewhere like that. I'm not completely sold on the taking a running back at 58. That just turns my stomach. All right, but that's an area there. All right, so really the Cowboys can go in any direction. They are deep here at tight end, but do they throw a pick there? All right. So that's just a quick look at that. All right, guys. So pretty big difference between the 2018 depth chart and where we're at right now in 2019 with all the additions and things like that. Like I said, so for the Cowboys, they've really set themselves up. You know, as we just discussed here, there are a couple of areas that are a little bit light, like the running back position, linebacker. They always draft one, so they're probably going to take one in this draft. And you know, your defensive line, your defensive tackle position. So we'll see what they do there. The other spots, I think they're pretty good. It would be more of a luxury type of pick if you take a tight end pick. For me, I think would be a luxury pick just because you have so many bodies there right now. I just wouldn't want to take one unless you're taking one early to compete for that future, you know, #1 tight end. But you know, we'll see what they do there. Wide receiver, that would be a luxury addition, but I wouldn't discount it. You know, they're definitely taking a look at some wide receivers. So let me know what you guys think. How do you feel about the roster right now as it is, heading towards the draft? All right, we're a little over 2 weeks away. It's almost time. All right, let me know what you guys think. If you like the content, click like. It really helps out the video and the channel. I really do appreciate it, guys. And as usual, continue to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you for the next one, guys. Peace.